ambitious as well. The Honourable Member for Toronto Danforth.
Government is now officially standing in the way of the truth. Where's the openness and transparency that we were promised by this government? The House has voted for there to be an inquiry into the scandal involving tortured transferred detainees. And, Mr. Speaker, the Prime Minister went and unveiled his economic platform over Siberia, about as far away from Canadians and this House as he could possibly get. And their oft-repeated refrain that it's already being implemented is belied by the municipal leaders who say the money isn't flowing. Where's the accountability and the truth?
The Honourable Minister of Transport. Ordered.
To my friend, the Leader of the NDP, this government has done more to bring accountability to Ottawa and to this place than any government in Canadian history. I'll tell you, Mr. Speaker, gone are the influence of big money in politics. Gone are the big union contributions that the NDP used to love. Gone are the old ways of the past Liberal government, Mr. Speaker. The Prime Minister has provided great leadership on the economy. He was pleased to release to the media internationally and in Canada the results of our economic action plan, our fourth report to Canadians. The good result is that Canada is poised to be one of the world leaders in the G7 with respect to economic growth this year, next year, and the year after, Mr. Speaker.
Honourable Member. Order. The Honourable Member for Toronto Danforth.
Well, the truth is good to say, Mr. Speaker, in the case of the harmonized sales tax, where the Conservatives are blaming the provinces with the support of the Liberals and the Bloc, the Conservatives are going to increase the tax on heating, and that's going to hurt people in Northern Ontario and elsewhere. How, in good conscience, can those people vote to increase the cost of heating oil for families next winter? How can they do that? The Honourable the Minister of Transport.
A lecture from the NDP with respect to taxes is quite something. I never thought I would live this long to hear it. Mr. Speaker, this is the government that brought forward major tax reduction for Canadian families, major tax reductions for small businesses, major tax reductions with respect to the GST. Every single time this Prime Minister and the Minister of Finance tried to cut taxes, Mr. Speaker, they faced the wholehearted opposition of the NDP and the leader of the NDP, who wanted to keep the GST at 7%, Mr. Speaker. The only problem that the NDP have with the HST is that it's not 2% higher, Mr. Speaker.
Honourable Member for Toronto Danforth.
The Conservatives may try to ram through the HST with the help of the Liberals, but I can tell you the NDP is going to fight them each and every step of the way. The NDP opposed the GST when it was brought forward years ago. The Conservatives are proposing to add $30 billion of taxation to families in the next 10 years, Mr. Speaker. I can tell you we fought it in the 1990s, and we're going to fight this Conservative new tax this time around as well.
The Honourable Minister of Transport.
Mr. Speaker, Mike Harris will be very pleased to know the Leader of the NDP has now donned the label of the great tax fighter of Canada. He has never met a tax he didn't want to increase. He wanted to keep the GST at 7%. He wanted to keep income taxes higher. He wanted to keep taxes for our small businesses higher. Mr. Speaker, the NDP need all these taxpayers' dollars money to fund all their wild social programs. Mr. Speaker, this government will continue to provide responsible fiscal leadership and will continue to work for economic growth, for job creation, to ensure that every Canadian family can experience the Canadian dream, Mr. Speaker.
Honourable Member